Eagles beat the book.
Welcome into PM in the AM. I'm Big Al with your host, Pat Bernard and Mike Lauro. Sundays will never be the same again.
Oh, no, they're not, and no, they won't. Here we are. And Mike, good morning to you, sir.
Is it really a good morning? I mean, you know, the only team that did well yesterday. The only team that did well was your Union yesterday.
Yeah, that's where I want to get into the good, the bad, and the ugly. This Philadelphia, and that's what it was. You just kind of mentioned it, kind of summed it all up. The good, the Philadelphia Union winning the Supporting Shield, and for you guys who are casual soccer fans or might not know what the heck that even means, it means that the Philadelphia Union won a regular season trophy for being the best team in the U.S. They get to play in the CONCACAF Championship, and for you don't know what that means, it means they get to play tournament with the best teams from Central America and North America will get to square off for next 2026. But the bad is the Phillies of last night. We're going to really get to dive and dissect that all. And the ugly is this college football state team, Penn State, who did drastically. And I'm pretty sure I've got my phone blown up yesterday. You got your phone blown up. It's time to call for the coach's head for now. But anyway, we'll dive on that. So, Mike, your blood pressure is already – I mentioned that name, and your blood pressure, I can see through the screen, is already going haywire. But let's talk about the Phillies last night. The Phillies started off well, off to a 3-0 start. JT Realmuto with a triple to drive a couple runs. But, however, when you go 1 for 5 in players in scoring position, not good. And a wasted Christopher Sanchez giving you 8 strikeouts and no real run support at all. And I feel bad. And partially, a lot of people last night who chimed into the Fighting Finals last night were blaming Topper for leaving David Robinson in there a little too long. From what you saw, what happened?
They stopped hitting. It's been the call of the Phillies all year. They thought they could put up 3 runs and it would be enough. And that's what happens. You can't do that in this postseason. When you have a chance to pile on, you got to pile on. And, you know, a lot of people I saw was coming at Topper for taking Bader out. You know, Bader got injured. That's why he got taken out. So, you know, for me, a wasted opportunity. I'm sorry. I think going forward, you have to use your other starting pitchers to go forward. Look what the Dodgers did yesterday. The Dodgers, their bullpen is worse than the Phillies, okay? And they said, no, you are not going to beat us by going after our pen, which the Phillies have made a living doing all year. This is what the Phillies do. Right. They'll putz around with the starter, and then once they get into the bullpen, then that's when the Phillies try to come back and win this game. So doing that last night, you got to give Dave Roberts his you got to give him his kudos, man, because he said, no, if I have to, I'm going to use Tyler Glasnow. And as soon as Glasnow started to falter, what did he do? He went right to his closer, which was another starting pitcher. So, again, and it's only going to get worse because now you're getting the Dodgers' 2 best pitchers, and we've already used ours. So, Rangers got to be Ranger tomorrow night and go out there and match. And Luzardo's got to go out there and match too. If not, this is going to be a short series. Like, we'll be done baseball by Wednesday night.
And then, like I said, Friday night, I'm doing the wraparound, and I'm being optimistic, right? Because historically wise, Phillies had the Dodgers number. But, reality started to set in. And it was last night. Like you mentioned, the bats were horrendous yesterday. They fell for Otani's same pitch routine. He would dial up a fastball, dial up a sinker, and then cut you up with an inside curveball. That Bryce Harper was absolutely tremendous. Kyle Schwarber, again, these guys, top part of the lineup, 0 for 11 yesterday with 6 strikeouts between the 3 of them. Trey Turner didn't get anything going, and I don't want to hear the excuse factor. Well, he's just coming off the injury. But listen, he was ready to go, and you're in the lineup, so you're ready to go. And like I said, it was putrid. It was absolutely disgusting last night from the entire lineup. And yeah, there was, like I said, JT Realmuto kind of woke it up with a bottom of the second with a nice triple. They get this team up and going. They get a 3-run blast, to get this team up 3-0. But again, Christopher Sanchez carving them up with the same curveball, the sinker, the slider. He was pitching well. He was pitching the strike zone. He was painting the bottom part of the strike zone. He was doing all that in the bag of potato chips. But, the 6th inning came rocking around, and then he started to fall apart a little bit, and Topper trying to leave him in there, left him in there a little too long, and it came back to bite him. Then they put David Robinson in there, and he stunk it up. And then, again, leaving him in there a little too well to try and get himself to battle out of a jam up, and only just made things worse. So, Al, the voice of reason, what did you see from last night?
Oh, well, Tomper made everybody who's had a problem, including the guy that this guy just invoked, feel vindicated in the sense that they did everything that people complain about them possibly doing wrong. They did it, right? They wasted let's start with this. They wasted a good pitching outing with Christopher Sanchez. They didn't. I mean, the Harrison Bader thing, I get. If he was, nobody knew he was injured right away, I guess. I didn't know he was. I just saw that they told him. They didn't. I looked on social media. There was nobody really saying it right away that he was injured. So I guess nobody knew that he was injured, including myself. And I was irate when that happened. I will tell you that right now. He, the use of his bullpen was out. Everything that people worried about. The top of the lineup just being cold as ice. Only production we got was from the bottom half of the lineup for the most part. I mean, Harper had a hit, but Schwarber didn't look like the Schwarber we knew. And the bullpen was, everybody was afraid that the bullpen would cause them to lose. And what did they do? They did that. And I agree with Mike in the sense that I thought they would start using, especially if they got only 6 innings, like get Luzardo in there or somebody else to try to do it. Robertson's been good at it, but recently not as much. I mean, it's just, and again, this makes me hate these buys a little bit more every time. I just feel like I don't care if you put on 47 intra-squad scrimmages and all that stuff. The Dodgers are playing hot after coming off and playing the Reds. The Reds were no competition for them. No competition whatsoever. These guys were swinging at things that they shouldn't have been swinging at, and they were trying to tie the game or take the lead in one foul swing. And it just made me watch and feel like I went back in time to 2023, and I'm watching the Arizona Diamondbacks take on the Phillies in the NLCS. And you can't do that with the Dodgers. You just can't. They're a really good team.
No.
They're defending champions. They are just not a team that you could do that with. And the lineup too. I'm going to put it out there. I'm not happy with the lineup the way it was constructed yesterday.
Yeah, me neither.
It made no sense. Why was Bader pushed all the way down to 8? Was this trying to be the smart guy in the room saying, well, listen, we'll have Bader kind of go towards the end so we can spread out the offense on our teams? Maybe that was Tomper's thought process.
I kind of get it, though.
No, hold on one second. I don't. I don't. He did this last year, and this is what irked me last year with him. This is where I really got on Tomper a little bit, that he turned the bullpen upside down on its head, right? Because we didn't have a traditional closer like Duran, and he just flipped it on top of his head. Guys who usually went later innings went early, Guys who went earlier went later. That didn't work. It actually blew up in our face majorly. And again, the lineup. Why you have Bader, who's been very productive at the top of the lineup, and you push him down to the 8-hole. Why couldn't he be 1 Trey, 2 Bader, 3 Harper, 4 Schwarber? Why do we have Alec Boehm in the postseason hitting in the 4-hole?
Thank you. Like, if anybody I feel should be down in the bottom of that lineup, it should have been him. Like, all he did was walk yesterday. I have no confidence with Alec Boehm coming up to the plate at all. Like, I know he's been a little hot going forward, but no. Like, I would be okay with Trey batting second. Put Bader back at the leadoff spot. No, don't tell me no. Don't tell me no. Bader's been hot. Trey he's working his way back in.
Not recently. Bader hasn't been hot. Early in the month, yes, but not as
Listen, Pat, none of them have been super hot recently, but
true.
Baseball is a bunch of creatures with habits in there, and you change it. You haven't played meaningful baseball since last Sunday, right? So you have 6 days. You haven't played any meaningful baseball, and you think by changing it and turning it upside down on its head was the most beneficial thing outside of the Bader thing before not knowing he was injured. That was the dumbest thing Topper did last night.
Yeah, I mean, Bader.
So you gotta look, and listen. You guys are right. I'm not trying to defend the guy. I'm not trying to sit there and defend Topper. Listen. If we're gonna play the blame game and look at the pie chart, he owns like 60% of it right now. So. But, I mean, you got to look at it through this way. Bader wasn't playing that well up until the part. And this is why he moved him down. And you figure Trey Turner is going to carry on with playing hot so he could set the tone. I get you that he should still been in somewhat maybe he should have been in that 4th hole or whatever. But I don't understand why is it, and it's going to sound crazy, like this is desperate times. Like Bryson Stott may have to move up. Like he's the only one to me right now. I know he won.
There's another one who he went up bad habits last night. Bryson Stott. Yeah. What he's known for is getting a lot of good pitches or taking a lot of pitches and working pitchers. And he didn't do that. He did not do that.
No.
He was up there swinging hard again too. Again, when this team, if Topper wants to earn my trust back, the first thing he should have done is go back in there and said, just tipped over a table and said, listen, you guys are getting the same damn stupid habits that you do when you struggle. All right? This is game 1. I know it's not the end of the world, but it's getting close to it. It feels like that. So you guys just can't go up in there and just try to tee off on every pitch that comes down the pike.
Yeah, and the only saving grace that you do have is that they are back at home. They do get another crack at them. And if you look around baseball, too, like Seattle lost at home last night, too. And, they finished up with the best record in the American League. So they lost, or I'm sorry, second best. So both number 2 seeds both lost at home to teams that were coming in. So the Phillies just got to get right. They just got to start knocking people in. You got to start playing smart baseball. You got to bunt. Like God forbid, you had bases loaded with 2 outs. I understand, but if you look at how Sosa was swinging, my man was swinging for the fences. How about you put a line drive and hit it somewhere?
Yeah, that was another one. Mundo Sosa, I love him to death. There was a guy that could have just simply got the ball in play. 2 guys could have tied the game up, very least. Something. It could have happened. But again, we're trying to be home run heroes, and I don't. And this, and I when I sat there. Hold on. When I sat there and told you guys in the beginning of end of August, beginning of September, that this team is finally getting that the home runs will come if you allow this. And Ryan, I see this. And yes, I'm not sitting there. I never argue the facts that this could be a problem coming. I'm also not going to give my team a chance when they're making in the playoffs and the number 2 seed, the second best in Major League Baseball. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2, they were not doing that for a very long time, but they got in a lot of bad habits again in the last 10 days or so of the regular season. So
Yeah,
I get
but
what you're saying, and it's easy to sit there and be negative about something than be positive about it. But my point is, I know you guys have been saying it, but they stopped doing it, and this is what happened, and then they go back to doing it because they get into their little comfort zones, and it has to be Tomper who goes in there, and the other pitching staff goes, guys, you're doing it again. Stop it. Just slap them in the face, and they knock your shit off. This isn't working. It hasn't worked since 2022. Look at the tape. 2022, you guys got fatigued and you got cold. Look what happened. 2023, you got figured out by the Diamondbacks. 2024, you got embarrassed by the Mets because you thought you were just going to walk your way through an NLDS, and you didn't. Now, wake your asses up. Stop being a bunch of asshole bitches. Yeah, I use the word. Sorry, Manny. I'll put it in the swear jar and knock your shit off.
yeah, but the problem is
Well, that's
Topper's
what,
not going to do that.
No, and look at it too, right? And like you guys bring up all the good facts here, and like to me, I just felt like the lineup itself fell for the old, banana the old tailpipe trick by Ohtani. Like I said, he held off some fast, and he would finish off inside curveball where I saw Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber. I saw all those guys swinging for the same pitches, and it was embarrassing at some point. Like again, and if Ohtani had 9 strikeouts yesterday, 9 on this squad, and he went 7 straight, 7 deep. And I'm thinking, like you guys, and I'm thinking like you guys. All right, well, here comes the bullpen. We could take advantage, like you said, Mike. This offense is predicated making their bread and butter on thumping bullpens, and they didn't pay off yesterday. The confidence level in this team is already down. Now, I'm going to ask you guys a question. It's I don't know if the pressure, the bright lights is getting to this team for 4 straight years now, or is this the hitting coach? Is it somewhat to blame on Kevin Long for the guys, your top part of your meat are falling for the same hitting routine? Is it crush the ball? Is he somewhat to blame in all this?
No, it's the players. It's the players.
Okay.
Like, no, there's no hitting coach. The hitting coach, you could lead a horse to water. You can't make them drink it. No, it's the hitters. Sure. It's the players. They have to be. They got to look themselves in the mirror after last night. And I'm sorry, we can't use the layoff excuse anymore because look what Milwaukee did. Milwaukee went out. Yeah, the Brewers went, and the Blue Jays, both of them. They both had a week off just like the Phillies did, and they jumped right on their opponents yesterday. So I don't want to hear that. Like, no, it's on the players. Sorry, 1 through 3 got to get it done. Okay, 1 through 3. You got $600 million between or $700 million between 1 and 3. All right, between Schwarber, Turner, and Harper. No, get it done. And I'm sorry, I'm not. I want Alec Boehm down the bottom of the lineup. I want him like 7th. Can we move Real Muto up at least? At least he was making contact last night off Ohtani. You know what I mean? Like, this is crazy, dude. Like, no, it's the players. And guess what? If they don't and they fall short again, guess what? There's going to be household changes in here come the offseason. And I don't blame them for doing that. I really don't, because you can't run it back. There's no way to run it back now.
So, again, getting some comments, though, Uncle Steve saying those bullpens didn't have Tyler Gosnell and Sasaki. Yeah, listen.
No, but they had Aaron Nola. They had Aaron Nola in there. Nola could have came in. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you got to match their intensity. You got to match them. And I'm sorry. Topper got outmanaged last night. You saw a World Series manager outmanage him last night. They got the timely hit last night. And, I'm not going to come on here and kill Strom because Strom got put in a really, really tough situation and damn near got out of it. He just left the pitch up and Teoscar Hernandez put it over to, he does what a good hitter does. Yeah. But, the thing that killed me last night was the way TBS was like all over Ohtani last night. Like, let's keep it a bean here. Like, I'm sorry. I think Sanchez matched him last night, to be honest with you. And Sanchez struck him out 3 times. Ohtani didn't do nothing at the plate.
No, again, you're right. He was 0 for 4 with 4 Ks last night. He did not do anything. Like, Christopher Sanchez gave him some fits yesterday. That's for sure. And like you said, Mike, to me now, it's just this was a waste of a win. Like, like you had your best pitcher going in this. He gave you his best stuff. He was he was
Well,
just
Sanchez,
locked in.
he, I'm
And
not going to sit there and say I'm not going to say he
he
was
fell in
his
the sixth
best.
inning.
He
No,
wasn't his
but he
best
fell in the
last
sixth.
night.
No, but he gave you 5 strong innings in the six innings where he started to collapse a little bit. But again, this is where blame game goes back on Topper. You see him struggling. I get it. You want to try and gamble it and say, hey, you know what? I know he got himself out of this jam up, and he really got himself into more of a jam up than get himself out of a jam up. And then your ball game just ultimately collapsed. Like Al said it best. The reality of the nightmares of the squad came all to fruition last night, and now we're hoping that a Lazardo or who's on the hills, Rangers on the hill,
Sanchez, Ranger.
and Sanchez, Rangers on the hill come Monday. You got to hope that he doesn't, some of his ugly woes don't show up on Monday, because this is a offense that will harp on. Now, granted, Mookie Betts didn't do anything yesterday. The Phillies killer, Freddie Freeman, didn't do anything really yesterday. They just, like you said, they got some good timely hitting at the right time where pitches were getting left up high, and they took full advantage of it, that LA Dodgers lineup. Kiki is dealing with okay, I'm sorry. I'm just reading.
Yeah, I have somebody's comments real quick.
Kiki is a dead pull hitter. Good.
Noom's in here. Kiki Hernandez is a Deadpool hitter. Do not miss inside to this guy. Ryan saying Bohm is the best at bats last night. He saw a lot of pitches and was patient. Very unlike him. Listen, I know
he
that.
Wasn't he wasn't patient at all.
He wasn't terrible. He wasn't what we're used to seeing. But my point is, he's not a 4-hole hitter. You can't put him in a 4-hole hitter. You can't reinvent baseball again. Okay, that's the problem. This is where I get annoyed. I feel like they're trying to reinvent baseball. Otani couldn't pick up anything from Sanchez last night. I mean, that was a plus. He did keep their big hitters off balance for the most part. Good morning from Washington State. Mickey, what's going on, my friend?
Good morning, Mickey.
I bet you Mickey isn't blast his team like this. Laugh out loud.
Well, because he's a Mariners guy, and I'll tell you what, like I just brought that up. Like the Mariners lost at home last night, and they lost in extras in 11. But this team right now, like if they don't find a rhythm at the plate and start playing, they're going to be gone, dude. Like you and Matty B, Al will be hosting the last the Fightins final of the year, because I don't see them like they got to split. They got to split here, and now they have to split in LA, or they got to go to LA and beat LA there 2 games, But again, do you really? I really kind of look at it. They're going to get Otani now for game number 4. It's going to be the same matchup. So, looking forward with that, the Phillies they got to hit. That's all there is to it. They have to hit. And to be honest with you, Pat, if they don't hit, like you're going to know once game 2 comes around. Like, I'm sorry. Like, and this fan base here is going to be really, really upset if they drop both games here and then go to LA. Like, they're just going to look and be like, it's over. And that's going to really, really have to bring in some changes. And I think the first change that's going to be made, Topper's gone. Topper is gone.
Yes. I'm with you. There's no bailing out Topper after this one. Again, like you said, you have to win game 2 strong, because if you don't, like you said, you pretty much written the ship that this series is over. And like I said, I was coming into this series being optimistic just because I'm going based off recent history. But again, like the reality came in. Like again on the wraparound, we talked for 45 minutes. Me, Matt, or debating where this is going to go ugly. I was going to say the starting pitching. He was saying that it was going to be the bats, and Matt won last night because there was the bats.
Oh no, he stole that from me. I told that.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it was only the bats only. The bats only showed up for 1 run. It was the bats and only came up 1 for 5 in scoring. Players in scoring position. It was disgusting last night. And like you said, Mike, what's at the top if this thing gets written off wrong? You have to change the manager, and you're going to break up the band. You're going to break up the schoolyard and
Well,
build up for a new
listen,
town.
my personal opinion, I think the band's going to get broken up anyway. I think Bohm's out of here at the end of the year. I think they're going to find a trade partner. They're going to trade him. I wouldn't be surprised if they got rid of Bryson Stott too, because he's regressed. So there's going to be two openings right there. I think you keep a guy like Bader, you sign him to a 2-year contract. You know what I mean? Give him a little more money. You keep him here, and then you go over there and you do what you have to do. Like, I think Cassidy's going at the end of the year. As much as I'm a big Cassidy guy, been a Cassidy guy basically his whole career.
Yeah,
We got to move on from.
He could turn around and help this team win the World Series right now, and he'd still be gone. Sorry.
Oh yeah. It's because, unless they fire Topper. If they fire Topper, then no, you could really see them keeping him. But here's the thing, and Ryan just brought it right here. Okay, they don't choke up. They don't choke up on the bat. They don't try and drive hits. Everything is let's swing and turn. And Bohm was guilty of that last night too. I think it was the second or third at bat. He comes up first pitch swinging and pops it right out to right field. Like, they got to stop doing this. They're not all going to hit home runs.
It's very simple. It's very simple. Don't try to hit another home run. Not even Kyle Schwarber. I don't care if it's bases loaded, no outs, and you're up 27-0. I don't care. Stop trying to hit a home run. Put the ball into play. The home run will come. It comes on its own. You don't need this.
That's where I thought this game was going, because you had Bryson, you had Alec Bohm that draws the walk. You had Brandon Marsh hitting up the middle. Then you had JT hitting the triple. Then you had the sac fly from Bader. Like, I thought this was all going into the right direction, and no, it was a shell of itself. It was the bats getting cold. They only came alive for one inning, and then they fell asleep, and that was it. Like, there was no energize. And then bases loaded, you bring in Sosa because he's a plug for you coming off the bench, and he is starting a game, which I kind of understand the move, but again, just nothing came to fruition. You see why Nick Castellanos has been riding the bench. The signs, like you just said, Mike, are that the writing's on the wall for the guy. He's out. Regardless if they make a change, he's out.
No, I disagree with you. I disagree with you. If they get rid of Topper, I don't think Nick's going to go anywhere, because they're going to, I think really kind of going back with this, okay, if there's friction between a star player and the manager, and they get rid of the manager, they're not going to get rid of the star player. They're going to have to get an overwhelming thing for Nick not overwhelming, but they're going to have to get something decent back for Nick Castellanos. I know some people will disagree with me on that, but he is a good player. So I could definitely see them holding on to Nick. As far as
but he's not that great of a player, though.
Well, again, too, I mean, he's been up and down, but I'm going to be honest with you, like, you got to look at right. Like, look at Harper. Do you think Harper's worth his money this year? I'm going to be the first one to say no. Like, I'm sorry, we didn't have a Bryce Harper type year, okay, from Bryce Harper, and he's got to do better, okay. Schwarber's got to do better. Now, again, let's see what happens Monday night, and then we'll really know what's going on. If they leave to go back to LA 1-1, it's a brand new series. If they leave going down 0-2, it's going to be very, very difficult for them to come back, especially using their two best pitchers. So, but Pat, we got to move on, dude, because we just spent a half hour on the Phillies. We got to go.
Yes, first we got to shift gears. Mike, grab your stick. We're going to shift gears here.
I'm not grabbing anything you're offering. I'm not grabbing anything you're offering, buddy. Matter of fact,
let's talk about
coffee.
Okay.
But no, we got a pretty. We got to go ahead, Pat.
No, we just talked about the bad. Let's talk about the ugly of yesterday. We got to talk about a college team that lost in California yesterday.
All right, listen, I'm going to share this up in about 3 minutes because they don't deserve any of my time. James Franklin needs to be fired ASAP. Andy Kotelnicki needs to go with him. The offensive play calling yesterday for Penn State was absolutely horrendous. Jim Knowles, this is the first time you're really going to hear me say his name because I thought his game plan yesterday sucked. You do not let a quarterback from an 0-4 team get 152 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns, and he threw for another 2. So the guy counted for 5 touchdowns yesterday. Okay? Franklin is horrible. He needs to go, and I'm sorry. They got to get rid of him. He's been there 12 years. What has he done in 12 years? Like, does this guy got pictures of, does he got pictures of somebody with a donkey or something? Because, like, I can't fathom for the life of me how this dude still has a job. He went to your high school? God bless you.
Mike, did you see his press conference?
The guy said, yes, the audacity of that dude. You did something that no team has done in 40 years, and you're going to sit there and act like, oh, it's us against the world. We still have time to win. No, you don't, because when you go to Columbus in the beginning of next month, you're going to get waxed. He was
blaming the injury bug yesterday. He was blaming the travel. When do we start blaming travel? But then he came back to blame himself, and then he was blaming that there was too many miscommunications through the headset. I mean, he's got more excuses than your average pen employee right now. And he's like, then he says that. And then he makes waves. Someone asked him from the media saying, "Hey, listen, you said you have head coaching and talent combination. Do you still believe in that?" And his answer was, bottom line, I don't know. I can't answer that right now.
Yeah, because he stinks. Anytime he goes against a big time, like, listen, I can understand. All right, you lost to Oregon. Oregon's probably a top 5 team in the nation. Okay, you came into that game as one of the other top 5 teams in the nation, and they lost in overtime. It was a competitive game. Listen, I take that. Okay, yesterday, there's no excuse for it. You lost to a team that got beat by Northwestern, dude. You lost to a team that got blown out at home by 35 or 25 by Utah, not a good Utah team. I'm not trying to hear nothing James Franklin got to say. He sucks. Kolicki sucks. Your big play, 4th and 2, and I said this yesterday. If you watched the Happy Valley Huddle, I went off. Okay, on this guy. I said the whole 20 minutes, I must have said he sucked 100 times. Okay, I don't want this guy back. He's horrible. 12 years at Penn State. What has he done? And I'm tired of hearing you apologists. Oh, well, look what he did. He brought Penn State back from the ashes. Get the hell out of here with that bullshit. Penn State they were one of the main draws for college football. Yeah, I know the Sandusky thing happened, and and all that went down with Joe Pa and everything. But to be honest with you, the guy who started their rise, from the ashes was Bill O'Brien. And that's the type of football coach they need. They need a guy like him. They need a guy like Luke Fickell. Luke Fickell was out there. They could have brought him in, and this stiff could have went to USC. I wish he would have. He's such a stiff. I'm tired of everything with him, and I don't, I love our boy Mike Bolger, when he comes on, but like no guy, there's nobody from Penn State that can talk to me and tell me what I'm seeing. They beat up on bottom feeders, and then when they got to play real teams, they're not ready to play. I told you.
That's it. I'm booking.
Yeah, book him.
I'm gonna book Mike Bulger because I like to know what's going through his mind right now. With
the same thing. If he's a real true Penn State, fan, or they cover the team, he's got to look at it from where I'm looking at it. James Franklin is horrible. Kolicki needs to go. Okay, he needs to go.
Now let's
dude. Hold on 1 second, Pat. Their big 4th down play yesterday, right? You got literally 2,000 yards of running back behind you in Katron Allen and Nate Singleton. Why is Drew Allard running the ball? Like, come on. Like, are you real? You had 2 yards to get.
Right.
Like, no, I'm sorry. Like, he's bad. I spent enough time on that idiot. Let's move on to the Eagles.
Yeah, yes. But I just want to get real fast, since we do have a head coach in the room. Are we being a little harsh on a coach? I mean, how do you see this as from a coach?
On James Franklin?
Yes.
Oh, have we tarred and feathered him yet? Have we, pulled his fingernails out one by one? Because no, we haven't tortured him enough. Then
No,
no,
listen.
I'm telling you right now, Mike's absolutely correct. Even a good head coach will tell you when time's time. I mean, listen, is he going to give up his job if they keep giving it to him? No. But my point is, when does Penn State or as an organization go, enough's enough? Enough is enough. What is pictures does this guy have? Information that this guy has that for 12 years, it's been the same thing. Just like we complained about the Phillies for the last few years. It's the same thing. They get in bad ruts and they have bad habits. This is the same problem. He does the same dumb things all the time. He beats up on bad teams and he loses to good teams. And that's why they have been barely more than mediocre over the years.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, I'm looking at it like this. If there's not a call now, then Penn State's not worried about winning. Okay. And, Nooms brings up a guy down here. He says Matt Rule. Well, here's the thing. Matt Rule's actually extending his culture out in Nebraska. If you brought a guy like Matt Rule to Penn State, holy cow. Like, Matt Rule's a good football coach. Okay. And you just think about this for a second. Look what he did with Temple. Okay. Where he wasn't getting 5-star recruits. He had some good players on that team. Hassan Reddick was on that team. Tyler Mataskevich was on that team. So they, the Deion Dawkins, he coached all those guys that were there. But can you imagine if he goes to Penn State and he can bring? Now you have the transfer portal. Like, it is, man. Like, I'm sorry, James Franklin is a fraud. He is a fraud. He's a stiff, and I don't want him coaching my college football team. If I was a booster, I'd be yelling and screaming. And guess what? I think yesterday was the first time you start seeing some old alums really coming at his neck. Guys like LeVar Arrington was like, Coach, you got to do better. He did something yesterday, Pat, that hasn't been done in 40 years. 40 years. Think about that. That's a fireable offense. You go out west and they didn't lose. Like, they didn't lose on the last second field goal. They got dominated by an 0-14 yesterday.
Well, Mike, this is going to seg me right to the Eagles because, that first half was putrid. I mean, they were down by 20 points, 27-7. They looked like they just couldn't stop the run. I call it second half of the game. They looked like they just could not stop the run. Like you said, the X factor was UCLA's quarterback. I mean, he just 5 touchdowns altogether, 3 running, 2 throwing. I mean, he crushed his team. He He barred this team inside and out, and left this team lifeless. And it looked like Penn State was battling into the fourth quarter by coming back down just by a 1-possession game. And no, they UCLA just did their thing, and they walked out with the W. Now, Mike, let's transfer this into the Eagles because your blood pressure's up. Mike, we have a 4-0 team. We have a 4-0 team that feels like an 0-4 team. Last 2 games, they've only given you one half of football. They started off well last week. They went into the half 24-6 against the Bucks. And I don't know what happened. Now it's at the point where A.J. Brown seems like he's not happy again. He's only got 7 yards and 2 catches. I mean, Mike, what's going on with this Eagles team? Where are you at with this current state of the Philadelphia Eagles?
Listen, A.J. Brown needs to be more of a team player, not a me player. And I understand. And I think it's a little overwhelming, too. Like, he puts up something on Twitter, and he gets called out for it. Again, I feel like sometimes when it comes to him, no matter what he does, he looks like a malcontent, and I guess it's the way he carries himself. I don't believe – I mean, the guy's repeated over and over again. He loves it here. This is his home. So, but right away, everybody's got the Eagles shipping this dude out. And I don't think there's any discontent. He just wants the ball. I mean, the only difference between him and Devontae Smith is Devontae Smith isn't putting up a tweet and but you can see the frustration on their face. Okay. But also they got to start getting these wide receivers open. Okay. And I think it's going to come together. Remember, guys, the first 4 games of last year, we were talking about whether Sirianni was going to have a job or not. Okay. And it's another year.
Right.
it's another year, it's eh, so I don't know. I'm looking at this game today. Here's the thing: they're 4-0, and I'm sorry, this Broncos team that's coming in, I feel like they are overrated as hell. They're overrated as hell.
Really?
I think. Oh
Well,
yeah, I think the Eagles are going to put a beating on them today. I really do.
well,
Yeah, I've watched this team. I've watched this Bronco team, and I'm
Yeah.
telling you, you can run on them. Okay, you can throw the ball on them, and their offense is not that scary. It
Listen,
really isn't.
well,
here's
like,
my thing on the Eagles
let-
Broncos. Like
yeah.
I'm going in the same direction as Mike here because I mean, have we seen who they played? I mean, it's not like they're blowing the doors off of good teams. I mean, if you want to compare strength of schedule to date, I mean, the Eagles have had a 10 times harder schedule. You already saw the Chiefs. You already saw the undefeated Tampa Bay team. I mean, that's and who else was the other team?
Cowboys,
Cowboys. There was one more. Or one more. I'm missing one.
Bucks.
Bucks.
It's-
Oh, we
yeah.
did Bucks.
Oh, it's yeah, it was Dallas Cowboys,
Chiefs.
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 Third game was
Why am I
damn,
blanking?
oh the Rams. The
The
Rams.
Rams.
Right.
All good teams. You know, all good teams with good players. I mean, who did the Broncos play? I mean, they played, I believe,
I can tell you right now. Hold on now.
they played. I'll tell you,
but-
right.
Their three
But-
games they beat let's see.
And
They
They
beat
lost
the-
to the Colts.
still
I know
won.
they
Yeah,
lost
they
to the Colts.
they played the Titans, the Colts, the Chargers, and the Bengals. So
Yeah.
they have 2 losses already. They're 2-2. You know what I mean? And they lost both games. They lost 2 games by a combined of 4 points.
and
But
and they lost on the road.
And not even just that. This vaulted defense of the Broncos, you gave up 52 points to the Colts and the Chargers, who are decent teams right now. They're good teams right now. But you gave up 12 points and 3 points to a maligned Titans and Bengals team. I don't understand how like this is like going to be so hard for everybody and all that stuff. I get it. Now Nooms brings up a point that I was going to bring up, so I pulled it up on the screen. He says the current O-line performance makes call playing a no-win situation. I truly think Patullo is trying to work around a health situation. I agree with him. I think the number one, this O-line has not played to the ability that we know they are capable of. That's number one. Number two, there is definitely some sort of health, Jurgens, I don't think he's 100% back. Dickerson, we know he's kind of going in and out. Lane Johnson isn't Lane Johnson. I wouldn't be surprised especially if they win the Super Bowl again this year, if Lane's out. He might retire earlier if he's going to keep getting hurt, neck injuries, things like that. There's no joke.
Yeah.
This, and Nooms is saying he has to say this is the wrong matchup at the wrong time for the Birds. I hope I'm dead wrong about it. 5 solid wide receivers.
I agree with him.
That's going to be Denver's biggest lopsided to the Eagles is that they can really chew up the secondary. Cortland Sutton can do it. We've seen him do it already. If anybody's had him on their fantasy football team, he's been a huge point getter. I mean, he does well. But again, it's going to be on our defensive line to get home and to get on the Denver, get to Bo Nix and force him to not be a factor in that world. I honestly think it's the run. I actually worry more about the run, Nooms, than I worry about anything else.
Yeah. So when I look at the game, though, I do want to push back on a couple of things. Like again, last week, this team looks like they're 0-4. They battled half. Me and Mike had the great honor of having Matty B hop on the post game show, and he flipped out. And listen, he doesn't like the term "a win's a win" kind of a deal. But he had to understand the fact
that Matty B just was just not even keeled. I find this hard to believe.
Yeah. So I trust them that the fact that listen. You are dealing with a Todd Sproles, right? This is one of the best defensive minds in the league. He made the right adjustments at halftime. He stacked the box. He made he shut down everything that this Eagles team was going to throw. So now when you look at this Broncos game, the Broncos who lead the NFL with 15 sacks, and you got Patrick Surtain it's going to be Stalk and AJ Brown all day long. Like
Pat,
where's the win at?
Pat, refresh your thing, dude. Uh,
Yeah.
you got to refresh.
Okay.
Yeah,
Almost
you're.
36ers.
But Pat's kind of while he's off. But yeah, I mean, getting back to this game, like it's really going to come down, you know, getting them to come back in this game. I think it is going to be a tale between the two lines. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you're going to have to find out Al really what's going on here.
I honestly think this Eagles team's a little better than some people give it credit for. I actually really agree with Nooms that the O-line is a little bit of an issue right now, and that's always been not a problem. Something we always kind of just took for granted that O-line would always be intact and be able to dominate other players. But in this case, you know, it is I think some health issues. You know, Adam's telling you don't forget to pay your bills. He's in the dark.
Yeah.
He will pop
No,
up.
but so the point I was making though, when you look at the Eagles versus Broncos today, the Broncos lead the NFL with 15 sacks, and they got guys who can get after Jalen Hurts quickly, and Jalen Hurts is going to have to get the ball out fast. And you know, with these guys not getting open, this may be a long day for the Eagles, and that's kind of worrying me some.
Well, you also got to look at it of who they played against too, Pat. Like, you know, they didn't get after Justin Herbert like that. They didn't get after Daniel Jones. They got the majority of those sacks. Like they got, I think they sacked Herbert. They sacked Herbert like once or twice, and they sacked Daniel Jones like once or twice. The other ones came against Tennessee and Pat. Your background, Pat. Your background.
Okay. All right.
So
it's not my background.
No, the noise. There's some noise.
Okay, gotcha. Good.
Yeah, it threw me off there. So you know, like I was saying, for them to go after, they got to go through this offensive line, and I think Saquon Barkley can have a good day rushing. Jonathan Taylor was gashing him, and you know. Again, Mario Hampton had a pretty nice day rushing against them as well. So this is a game where I feel like maybe you can get off. But you know what, guys? I like A.J. Brown today. I like A.J. Brown to get a couple tutties today. He's at home. And, yeah, he's going to be, covered by Sertan. But I kind of like the Birds big today. I think the Birds can put up 40 on this defense. I really do. I think they can hang a 40 burger on them.
Well, the only good thing though, Bo Nix has four. Bo Nix has 4 interceptions. In 4 games, so he will throw in the fire. So you can make some big plays off of him. Let's see if the Eagles can do that. Let's see if Cooper DeJean can come up with something big or something. But this team needs to be better, getting the ball out fast. And I hope this offense. I encourage. The worrisome for me is if AJ Brown's not going to get the touches I wonder if there's going to be troubles on the sidelines.
No, he hasn't shown no trouble before. So I mean, like, here's the thing. And this is a part of our fan base too. They got to stop. Like, this guy's not Terrell Owens. He's not going out there. He's not doing sit-ups in his driveway. He's not. Listen, when he comes in, if him reading a book on the sideline keeps his mind right. And still kind of keeps him in the game, then let him do what he got to do. Like, the guy's not been a distraction. They're making him seem like he's been more of a distraction than what he is. And I think that's wrong. He hasn't been a distraction. Who cares? It's his Twitter. If he wants to put up a Bible quote, go ahead. But right away, people think he's talking about people in the building. He's talking about Howie Roseman. And the guys, I mean, I don't know how many more ways this guy's got to tell you that he loves it here. He has no problems with people in the building. Like, how many more ways does he have to tell you? Like, leave him alone. Seriously.
Right, but just get back to the X's O's of this game. If this defense shows up like they've been, like I said, I worry this is going to be a long day for the Birds because, like you said, Dallas Goedert, 2 touchdowns for 37 yards. This offense wasn't really moving, and this defense scares me. If they get to Jalen Hurts early and cause him havoc, with a Sean Payton on the other side, it could be scary.
Bro, listen, go buy a dog. I'm not buying the Broncos. I've watched them. I've watched their games, dude. They beat 2 really bad teams. Like, that Cincinnati team is garbage. Like, the only 2.
Yes, I agree.
Their only 2 tough games, they lost. They lost their 2 toughest games. And I'm sorry, I think the Eagles are head and shoulders better than Indianapolis. And guess what? I'm also going to say they're pretty much better than the LA Chargers. Okay? No, I'm not trying to hear nothing about the Broncos. Nothing about the Broncos scares me. Bo Nix is a turnover machine. Okay? The only thing you have to worry about is him running. Well, guess what? Nakobe Dean's on his way back. Is he going to be playing this week? I know he was practicing.
Yeah, but aren't you aware of the fact that this team can only shove one half of football in the last 2 games?
Pat, listen, it's the NFL. It's the NFL, Pat. Like, those guys get paid to play too. Like, and look at the Eagles' schedule. You're acting like they're playing 4 bottom feeders here. They started off with a division. They started off with a division rival who has a good offense. Okay, they won that game. Then the team that they played in the Super Bowl, we went to their house where they barely ever lose. Okay, you saw what they did last week, right? To Baltimore. Okay, another supposed Super Bowl contender, right? They waxed Baltimore there. The Eagles go there and get a win. Then the team that gave them their toughest game, okay, gave them another tough game, was dominating us. They come back and win that game. And then they come back and then they have a good first half. Now, I will say this. That second half, that play calling was atrocious in the second half. That you can sit there and say. But look at the overall thing. They're 4-0, and they have all the stuff. Can you imagine how good this team's going to be when they don't have a lot to work on and this team gets rolling? Think about that.
Why does it feel like it's? But why did
you're asking them to think? That's a tough task there, Mike.
Yeah, that's true. I got to remember who I'm talking to here.
I can smell the burning through the microphone.
Yes.
But I mean, why does this team feel like an 0-4 team instead of a 4-0 team?
Because I love you, because it's lugs like you that go, oh, well, they're only playing one good half here, one good half here, one good half here. They got through 2 block kicks. They got lucky there. Again, you need luck to win a Super Bowl. You need luck to win a Super Bowl. Their first Super Bowl.
They're walking on eggshells. Eventually, one of them are going to crack. And this, I feel like it's 2023.
Pat, nobody's perfect. Pat, it's not 2023 again. But I will say this: are they going to get a loss?
They took out your running back. They took out your best punch. Your best punch hasn't been effective in the last couple.
Pat, look at the quality of opponents they've had. They're going up against top-notch teams.
Did you? I know everybody. I know everybody's quarrel has been the last 2 games. They either started out very slow, and then came on, or vice versa. They were hot against the Rams or the Tampa Bay, and then they cooled off. Do you not think that Todd Bowles could make it? Like we always said about, they need to go in halftime and they need to make adjustments, right? Do you not think Todd Bowles can make adjustments? Just like the Rams seemed like they had a good game plan against the Eagles. And what the Eagles do? They went in and they made adjustments. And they came back and they beat them. In the end all be all, I know people go back and they've been comparing it a lot to the 2023 season of the Eagles. And I get it. I understand, kind of like what Matt says. Or he goes, there can be paper wins. I don't believe these have been paper wins. You know what I mean? I can see now that if I go back and look at 2023, ones where they kind of squeaked some luckiness out of them. This isn't what's going on here. They're playing good teams. They're playing. Is their play perfect? No. But the team continues to evolve throughout the season. They're evolving in the right way. Now, if they go on like an 0-4 run now, and they lose 2 games to the Giants, they lose to the Broncos, they lose to the Vikings. Okay. Then maybe in 4 weeks, we're having a different conversation on PM and the AM. But right now, that's not what's going on. And I don't see any reason not to believe that this team's only going to get better as it gets healthier. Because I think that's the big thing. The AJ Brown thing, I am so tired of it. I don't retweet anything about it. I don't try to combat people on it anymore because it's dumb. AJ Brown's a diva. It happens. We know that. Just like T.O. was. Now, like Noom says here, there's a complete and utter difference between the diva-esque part of AJ Brown and T.O. Completely different. This is my point. I don't care if he wants to tweet at whoever, if he wants to take on Seth Joyner or whatever it was he was trying to get, he got in an argument with, and he goes over saying all these old heads need to like just shut up, whatever he exactly said. But that's him. As long as when he's on the field, he's not a problem. As long as he's in the locker room, he's not a problem. I'm okay. And it doesn't seem to be a problem, all right? We heard so many damn rumors about everything from they don't like each other anymore, or AJ Brown and his girl and Jalen's girlfriend were having an affair. Like, we've heard some pretty crazy stuff out there in the last couple of years. AJ Brown will always be about AJ Brown. That's not going to change. But as long as when it comes down to it, he's out there and he's doing his job, and if it's catching balls, getting touchdowns, or being a distraction so other guys can catch balls and get touchdowns, this is a problem that you're going to have on any team that has multiple scoring options. Somebody is not going to get the ball, and some people are not going to get upset. Now, Devontae Smith is not as much of a diva as A.J. Brown, so you're not going to probably see that right now, at least, as much as you will see with A.J. Brown. Those are the kind of things that we have to, as fans, have to be like, all right, guys, we are dealing with people who are divas. We are dealing with millionaires who get paid to play a sport. So is there going to be some quirkiness with them? Absolutely.
Hey, listen.
I just think your biggest problem,
Pat. Listen,
the biggest problem though. Good. You go first, and I'll follow up.
All right. Like I said, I'm looking at the 2025 or 2023 schedule. I'm literally got it right here in front of me. They started out 10-1, right? In those games, they were averaging. Now they scored 25 or more points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They scored within the first 10 games. They scored 25 or more points eight times, right? When they went on that losing streak, they didn't hit more than they scored 33, 31. That's it. And then they were all in the single digits that year. So, I mean, this is a big difference, Pat, I see between that team and this team. I think it just needs to come together. So go ahead and say what you're going to say, Duke, because I got to give my picks.
I disagree. You know, you actually brought a common X factor to it. And I'm going to die on this hill alone. And I know this is where me, Matty B, had our disagreement. I don't think the Kevin Petula playbook fits this Eagles team. I think that it's just not working. His playbook in particular is not working. I mean, from last year's to his right now, it's not. And it's going to eventually cost this team a bunch of wins or a bunch of losses, and it's going to hurt. And I'm telling you, once they get their first loss, I don't know if this team can get themselves off the canvas with this playbook. I don't. It's only worked for now for one half of football. You can't continue playing football like this. And you go back to that.
You're right, Pat. You are 1,000% right. If they keep playing one half of football, but who's not to say that they can't start getting it together and start playing full games of football? So, like I said, once this team, you're sitting there saying that it don't, but you also got to look back too. Kellen Moore offense. Hold on, that Kellen Moore offense last year struggled through the first 4 games. Struggled. Okay, so you got to give him this. You got to give him the same amount of time as you gave Kellen Moore.
No, but the difference is from last year to this year. Last year they went 2-2, right? And into their bye. They were 2-2 going into the bye. But then after that, they played a bunch of teams. They played the Bengals, who stunk. They played the Giants. They played a bunch of teams that they were the Browns, a bunch of teams that they were supposed to win. You're not going to get the same luxury this year. You're not going to get the same break this year because you won the Super Bowl and your schedule is now 10 times harder. You're not going to be able to play a bottom feeder anywhere.
Pat, are you nuts?
And the Giants
are you looking?
And the Giants are going to turn around.
Pat, I'm going to read you off right now who the Eagles have left. Okay, they got the Broncos today, which I think the Broncos are a playoff team. Okay, yeah, you're right. They got 2 with the Giants in the next 3 weeks. Sandwiched in that, they got the Vikings. The Vikings ain't a playoff team. Sorry. So yeah, there's 3 gimme games right there. Okay. Then they go to Green Bay to play the Packers. Guess what? I'm not sold on the Packers either.
Oh,
I just
come on.
did you watch that game? Dude, they lost to Cleveland, bro. They lost to Cleveland and they just tied the Cowboys. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. They can have all the revenge all they want. They're not better than the Eagles. Now, I will say this, that Detroit team coming in, that's going to give the Eagles fits. Then, okay, here we go again. You have the Cowboys. Again, we're probably going to end up splitting with them. So you're looking at 2 losses right there. That's the first 2 times I see the Eagles losing. Hold on. Then you got Black Friday against the Bears. The Bears got to come here. Are you scared of the Bears?
Okay.
No. Then you have the Chargers. Playoff team, probably be a close game. But it's here, or that's a Monday night out in LA. I think they win that. Are you scared of the Raiders? No. Not scared of the Raiders. And then you have Commanders, which I'm not scared of them either. Not scared of them at all. They've regressed. Come on, Pat. Tell me, Pat, if you sit there, you said I'm going to tell you. You tell me I don't watch football without saying I don't watch football.
I didn't say that.
No, you're sitting there groaning. If you watch football this year, you're not scared. I'm not saying it's going to be an easy task either.
I'm scared.
Listen, any divisional game is not going to be an easy task.
No, that's what I'm saying. You got 3 games on there, dude, that worry me. Literally 3. You have the Lions game, okay? The Packers. I'll even throw in the Packers. You have the Lions, the Packers, and the Bills. That's it. They're the only games that I'm worried about where I think the Eagles might take a L. That's 14-3, Pat. 14-3. We're coming off of the Super Bowl.
And you just said spoke the Cowboys.
All right, maybe. It all depends. It all depends because they got the injury bug like crazy too. CeeDee Lamb's out now. You don't know about Pickens. I will say this: their offense is real good, but the Cowboys' defense is shitty. And so is the Packers. Even with Michael Parsons, they're shitty. Like, I'm not sold on none of them teams other than the Lions. I think the Lions right now probably pose the biggest threat. Them and the Bills. And I think that Bills game is going to be crazy. That Bills game, I hope it's in 2 feet of snow.
Yeah.
Play whatever you have to play to make this happen, brother. Do whatever it is you got to do. Whatever rain dance, you got to go outside and dance. Whatever it is you have to do it.
Yeah. So, Pat, what are we eating today, buddy?
Dude, I'm thinking
Hold on. Let me use my great mind reading, future predicting powers and keep this one word keeps kind of flowing towards me, Mike. Maybe pasta. Is that what's coming to mind? Hold on, let me see. Go ahead, Pat.
Yeah, you kind of touched on it. It's in the same family, but not exactly. I'm going to go spaghetti. So, just dial it up a little bit.
It's in the same family.
Did you just say spaghetti and pasta are the same? Pasta's a family. Spaghetti's a type of pasta, bro. It is the family.
Oh.
Al, what are you doing, buddy?
That is a great question because you know what? I'm having lunch with my grandmother today, so that I'm gonna go do, and then I don't know. I might hit the barbecue up tonight after turn that on after the Eagles game.
Okay, actually I'm gonna talk to the wife. I think I want to do tacos tonight.
Yeah,
yeah.
I like where your mind's at. I like your
tacos tonight.
Great selection. Taco Tuesday, buddy. Can't go wrong.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely. Listen, right before we go, I want to touch on some of this stuff. The Phillies do need to wake up. And if anything good that could come out of last night is it was a kick in the proverbial dinghy for the Phillies to wake them up. And I'm hoping Tomper had the gumption or somebody in the locker room had the gumption to sit there and go, yo, guys, we sucked. Everything that people have complained about us online, everything that people have complained about us on podcasts and radio shows, everything people complained about us either locally and nationally, we did to the fullest, like almost like we were doing it on purpose. We need to prove them wrong. Chip on their shoulder, prove them wrong.
Yeah. And All right, guys, I got my picks for today, as I did on prop stocks and parlays on Wednesday. But I am taking the Detroit Lions -10 today over those. Who are they playing? I think they're playing somebody shitty. Oh, the Bengals. So I got,
You know, Mike likes his pick where he doesn't care who they're playing. That's how good.
yeah. Well, I took them. I'm taking the Seahawks at home against those Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think Seattle's going to light them up. I'm taking the Chargers -2.5 over the Commanders. I'm taking Houston -1 over Baltimore. That was the line when we did this. And tomorrow night, I'm taking the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's right. That's my upset of the week. Jacksonville getting 3.5 at home. They beat Kansas City. And for the Eagles game, I'm taking the Eagles -3.5, but I'm taking the game to go over 43.5. So there's my picks for the week, guys. Good luck and bet responsibly. And it's for entertainment purposes.
Yeah, and before we get out of here, and one more tidbit of news: the Philadelphia Flyers hockey is back this week. Yes, Thursday night the Flyers start off against the Florida Panthers. Mike, how do you see this season? Is there any kind of optimistic for the season, or you're just going to look at, take precaution? This is a rebuild season, and I'm going to, let's see what happens. How do you enter the Flyer season?
They could go 0-6, dude, to come out the gate. I mean, their schedule is very brutal coming out the gate. Like, I don't know who they pissed off in the NHL office, but it is bad. Like, I'm looking at their schedule right now. Holy cow, dude. Let's see. Hold on. Yeah, they play at Florida, right? Then they get to play at Carolina coming home. Only play Florida again. So there's 3 games right there. Their home opener. All right. Then they got Winnipeg coming in, Minnesota coming in, Minnesota, who's pretty good. And then Seattle.
Wow.
And then they go to Ottawa. That's their first 7 games,
Ottawa's
man.
an team. Yeah, it slapped me with
mustard,
but
slap you with honey mustard. Here we go.
But no, so and I got one for you. How do you? This team now going to be under Rick Tocchet. How do you think this team is going to respond? Are you kind of same thing? And you know what? This is just a rebuild year, and I'm going to see what happens. Are you excited that Rick Tocchet's now going to be at the head of this team? How do you see this team?
I think they can make some noise. I think they could sneak in the back end of the postseason. I do.
Really?
It's just a rough start, man. Hey, look, you're gonna get a good look Thursday night, dude, when they come to play. So, why not just take a look and see what it is? Why not? Watch the game, see how it looks. I mean, they get tested right off the bat, dude. You got the defending Stanley Cup champions. They're dropping their banner. Let's hope that they kind of, the Flyers get a nice little 2 points out of that. You know what I mean? So
yes.
I think they'll be okay. I think they'll be in the mix like they've been the last couple of years. They'll be in the mix of a postseason. Now, whether they get there or not, it all depends. The defense has got to get shored up, though. The defense has got to get shored up for definite.
Well, goaltending.
That's what me and Matty B.
It's going to be a huge question. I don't know what to expect. I mean, listen, Rick Tocchett's a coach, but if you don't have the pieces to put together around it,
a long time there, Steve.
It's going to be an issue. It's going to be an issue. I got no expectations, to be honest with you guys, of the Flyers. I want to see growth, and that's what I'm going to be at until they start getting all the right pieces together, which will probably start a lot more into the next season once they have more cap money and cap room than anybody else probably in the NHL. And you can start bringing in some key players and some key veterans to play with this young core.
You know what's really funny though about this? Like, I wanted to check out. I'm going to check out something just for the. I want to look for futures here. I just want to see for Vezina. Like, oh, they don't have it. Player. I'm just sitting here looking. Yeah, they don't have nothing for that yet. But if they had the like MVP, for futures, the only thing they have right now to win the Stanley Cup is Florida to win right now. It's plus 1,200 for them to win. I want to see where the Flyers are at just for giggles just to see where they have to. They're at 75-1 odds to win the Stanley Cup.
Seems better than I would expect, to be honest with you. Is that
Listen,
weird?
yo, but here's the thing: they're not the lowest. You know who the lowest is?
No.
San Jose Sharks. They are 400-1 odds to win the Stanley Cup. Guess who's right underneath them?
Who?
The Pittsburgh Penguins at 300-1. The Seattle Kraken's 225-1. The Bruins are 225-1. Islanders or Red Wings are 120.
The Flyers have a higher chance of both the Bruins and the Penguins.
Right now, I'll tell you all the
Who
people.
would have thought? Who would have thought?
I'll tell you all the teams under the Flyers: Columbus, Islanders, Nashville Predators, Anaheim Ducks, Detroit Red Wings, Boston Bruins, Seattle Kraken, Penguins, Blackhawks, and Sharks are all behind the Flyers.
That's
Wow.
really
That's
crazy. To be honest
that's
with you. I thought
crazy.
they would have been bottom 3, 4, maybe
No,
5.
they're the one that kills me is the Dirty Devils. The Dirty Devils are 14-1 to win the Stanley Cup.
All right. Well,
Really?
That's crazy. That's nuts. But
Well,
all right, guys.
It's time to, as they say in hockey, it's time to hit the barn. We got other things to do. So, guys, enjoy your afternoon. Go Birds. Me, Mike, Eagles post show today. We'll be breaking it all down and some more, guys. We'll catch you later. And what's on the?
I'm on the post.
Maddie B tonight.
I'm on the post today.
I'll be there. I don't know if you are, but I'll be there.
All right. I don't know yet. It all depends on what
but we
mood
got-
I'm in.
Well, you're gonna have a lot of
Yeah.
positivity, especially about the Phillies coming at you tonight. As you know, Sunday through Thursday at 10 p.m. The final word with Maddie B. You missed it yesterday. You're probably not upset because you were probably just as angry as this man who became the Blue Hulk that day. Mike Lauro hosting the Happy Valley Huddle. Don't forget the Attacking Third on Thursdays at 9 p.m. Props.
Question right there.
What? Oh, I know next
we
week.
are switching it.
Check your schedule.
switching
We'll
it.
have the schedule out because the Eagles are playing this Thursday coming up. We are aware of that. So I'm sure that's going to be changing. So, guys, always keep up because Maddie B does put out a great schedule that you can look at just like this. So if you're missing anything. But don't forget props, locks, and parlays. Normally on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. I'm sure this is going to move a little bit too. The Birds Blast. Maybe it'll be a pre-game type of show. I don't know. We'll find out. But the Birds Blast, typically it's Kyle Quinn on Thursdays at 7 p.m. Steel City pre- and post-game show, of course, today. Gridiron Weekly. That's on Wednesdays, right? I think, right? No,
Yes.
that's Thursdays. So I wonder if they'll still run at that time too. And the Pittsburgh Sports Desk is at 8 on Wednesdays typically. And of course, you got the post-game show today, as Pat already alluded to. Eagles Broncos. I'm expecting a pretty handed win by the Eagles here. And here's your current lineup for the NLDS. Of course, I couldn't make it with Pat last night. I had coaching duties. Mondays, the PM and the AM duo. And then me and Maddie B will battle it out Wednesday night. So we will see where that takes us, guys. Other than that, he's Mike Lauro. Pat Bernard, he's Pat Bernard. There's not much more to say about that. I'm Big Al, and guys, have a great afternoon, and go Birds.